What's up guys, NepentheZ here and welcome back to another episode of the Draft to Glory. Today guys, we hope to pick up another draft win. In the last episode, of course, we managed to pick up a huge victory. The 4-2-3-1 is exactly what we're going for here. Against two really good opponents throughout the course of the draft. And we will take Paul Scholes as our captain. And I'm very happy that he sits in that CDM role as well. Not that I want to play him as a CDM, just so that he doesn't take up a cam spot. Now guys, if you're enjoying the Draft to Glory and you want to drop a thumbs up on the video, it would be very much appreciated. And today's video is brought to you by Scuf Gaming. That is right, I've partnered up with Scuf Gaming and Scuf controllers, and we're going to talk to you today about two controllers, the Scuf Gaming Impact controller and the Scuf Pro controller. Now this is the Scuf Pro. It is very, very similar to the old PS4 or the PS4 controller. You can see in size and weight, it's very much the same, but it has a massive benefit that we can use in FIFA in the sense it has paddles on the back. And for those of you that play games like Call of Duty, these are obviously amazing for drop shotting, for diving, for shooting and stuff. But for FIFA, it's also really good because you can map it to R3. You might be thinking to yourself, why would mapping it to R3 be anything that's of any use for me? Well, R3 is how you scoop the ball up. So I've mapped R3 to my right paddle, which means I never have to use the right thumbstick to click in to get shots off. So whilst I'm playing, obviously I could just click in my finger here, which rests on the paddle anyway, and use the shooting mechanics without having to worry about moving to the right thumbstick, which might not seem like it helps, but once you get involved in it, it does help. Now, sadly, you can't map the paddle, the bumpers to the paddles, only the buttons and the R3, but you could map shooting or passing or second man press in here. So instead of, for me, holding second man press is right trigger and right bumper. So holding like two fingers like that on here, not necessarily the most comfortable thing. So you can now hold left paddle for second man press and right trigger for sprint, because of course you can convert second man press from the right bumper to a key, right? And then you could just put first man press to right bumper. And that way you could just use second man press without having to worry about holding, like, because some people like to hold the controller like this with one finger on both bumpers. Some people do like to hold it with two fingers on both bumpers, but it's super uncomfortable. And for me personally, I like to hold one on. So the paddles are like really, really, really awesome for that. They also have the Scuf Impact, which is a much bigger controller, akin to an Xbox controller. So if you're thinking, man, I would love to use PlayStation, but I don't like the PlayStation controller, the Scuf Impact is genuinely incredible for you. It's way, way bigger, much more heavy duty. And both controllers, compared to the regular PlayStation controller, have insane grip, man. Like, you just, doesn't matter if your hands get sweaty or not during those tough FUT champs or draft games, these bad boys stick to you. You're absolutely fine. Even the thumbsticks have like a good grip function so that your hand's not going to slip off of them. And because they're concave, like these ones, your hands can slip off of the regular PlayStation controller things here, right? Like literally, I can even feel it now. My hand will slip off of it because it doesn't hold my thumb very well. But on the Scuf controllers, your thumb sits in and is gripped to it, and it's actually really harder, way harder for your hands to slip off. We was playing with them on stream yesterday in FUT champs, and I got used to and got accustomed to using paddles for the first time ever, because I've not been somebody that's used paddles a lot. And the scoop paddle shot is honestly incredible for help. Now, of course, the controllers are fully customizable. I've got a FUT champs themed controller and a football themed controller. If you want to get a controller, of course, you can just go to scufgaming.com. Link will be in the description below. Using NepentheZ for a 5% discount at the checkout. And today I'm going to be playing with the Scuf controller. In fact, for the duration of my partnership with Scuf, we will now be using the Scuf controller. So you'll get to see just how much of a benefit it gives to me whilst playing with the controller. And so with that being said, guys, if you do go and build a controller, you can customize everything. You can even get longer like R2 and L2 buttons, just a little bit longer than the normal ones. So again, if you do like to hold your fingers up like that, it's really good for it. But if you do go to the site and you do go and customize, that Jovic card is nice, and you do customize yourself a controller, just tweet me the controller that you built. The color schemes, the buttons, the layouts, what thumbsticks you picked would be awesome. And of course, don't forget to use NepentheZ at checkout. 624 star. I'm going to take that as a patter card. Obviously, we can get a soft link into him for Paul Scholes. And again, guys, thank you very much for for supporting the channel, for supporting the dream. These last few months specifically, you guys have just been amazing with support, and you've been just super helpful with a whole bunch of things, especially, you know, watching the streams, watching the videos on the second channel. You guys have been absolutely awesome, so I appreciate it a lot. Sadly, we're going to get no icons, which sucks. We can take him. I'm going to have to play Paul Scholes up in at cam. Now, what will Paul Scholes do as a cam? 3-star, 3-star. Great shooting and passing. Great stam and jumping as well. How tall is he? 5'7". Unlucky. Great heading and interceptions. His dribbling is brilliant as well, other than agility. I wonder if this is an overlooked icon. You know, you never see it. The 3-star, 3-star is a little bit disappointing, but I do wonder if it's just a massively overlooked icon. And we'll take that Team of the Year Kante as well. Soft links to Payet. But I think we're going to have to pop Scholesy up there and get some more links to the people. In at the first centre-back spot, I'm tempted to take Hernandez. Again, soft links to Kante. Extremely fast. I don't personally like the fact that he has 66 jumping. But his pace, his defending, his reactions are terrible as well, which I don't personally like, again. But what can you do, eh? And then in at left back, we'll take that Mohamed Salah left back card. And what a great attacking team that we've got here. Our next centre back, come on, give us an icon. No icon, but Davinson Sanchez. We can carry on with that Premier League theme there. So we'll take him. He has a Hunter Chem style, which isn't ideal. But Hernandez obviously not going to be linking for us now. And then Trent in there as well. I'm going to take Trent. And we are going to put Scholesy down in that right CDM spot. And that will link up Trent to full chem, which is very nice. And then in goal, Hugo Lloris it will be. I mean, that's not a bad draft to start. It's 90 rated with only 91 chemistry. But obviously, Saponara here, letting the team down in more ways than one for rating. And then Payet and Zapata letting the team down for... Sorry, Saponara for chemistry and rating, I suppose. And then the 386 is letting the team down for rating. So we've got potential to pick up a nice high-rated draft here. We'll take Casillas for the 85. Hopefully we can get ourselves some nice defenders. Delict coming in. I'll take him. I would have preferred his FFS card, and obviously we can't even link him to anyone just yet. And then our last spot, it pains me to have to do it, but Joel Matip is going to be our centre-back. Unless we can get lucky and hit someone else, and I'm definitely taking Socrates, man. Look, Costa's El Tornado crosses to Socrates and Zapata is going to be amazing. He gives links, he gives chem, and we're just, we're on 100 chem now, so now it's just about improving the team itself. Can we get another icon there? Yes, we can. Ryan Giggs. I could take Fabinho and then put Scholes in at that cam spot, which is probably the smarter choice, you know. It just gives everybody full chemistry at this stage, and that's actually a really cool hybrid squad. Okay, we've only got 2 from the Serie A, and then 2 icons, and then Premier League, but it's still a really cool hybrid. If we could just now get a really, really nice attacking option as a sub for Zapata and Costa, although the last, I mean, there we go, perfect. 89, Heung Min Son, 5-star weak foot, 4-star skill moves, high, 6 foot tall, 96 stam. The only other option we could take here is Neymar, because we could get him on 7 chem up front, but I don't want to play him as a striker, where I'd be happy to play Heung Min Son as a striker. So I'm going to take Son, and I'm not going to start him yet. I'm only going to put him into the main team if we can get another player that's going to give us chem. So if we go for like a full Premier League / icon team, ooh. Now, Mbappe is a really nice option, because I don't mind playing him as a striker. Also, David De Gea is a good option because Lloris is just trash. I've got Son as one attacking option. I'm gonna take Mbappe. I'm gonna take Mbappe. We're not necessarily gonna start him. We're just gonna take him, and then we'll move on to the next pick. Come on, give me another good player there. Pedro Sousa. Oh, perfect. Vinicius Jr. can come on. Now I wish I took De Gea, hilariously. That puts us up to a 190, guys. 2 more picks to go. We're getting another icon here. No, we're going to get ourselves Pavard for right back. What's his work rate? 6'1", medium. I'm going to take Pavard, and I'm going to put him at centre back. we're going to play, we're going to sub him on for Matip straight away. Because Matip is just not somebody... Oh, I have the licked for centre-back. Oh, well, never mind. We got a good bench, man. Anyway, regardless of whether or not we use everyone off the bench. Obviously, we can't use everyone, but come on, last pick, good icon. Good icon, good icon. That Perisic card was really nice. Let me have a breakdown of this team. So in goal, I could take 91 David De Gea, which I would probably prefer over Hugo Lloris. Salah, Davinson Sanchez, and Trent are perfect. And we've got either De Ligt or Pavard or Hernandez for a centre-back sub. Kante and Fabinho are brilliant. Socrates and Costa are brilliant. And then having Mbappe and Son and Vinicius Jr. as alternative options, I don't need an attacking option, so I'm going to take De Gea. I know it might be a bit of a crazy one for some of you guys. But yeah, I mean, I'm not even going to sub out Matip until I need to. You know, so we'll keep the offensive subs available. So there you go. That is the team. I mean, it is pretty cool. It is a hybrid because there's 3 leagues technically, right? Syria, Premier League, and Icon League. But it is a hybrid. It's only 2 players from 1 extra team covered by Icon. So in that sense, it's not like the most creative hybrid, but it is a hybrid. And that is going to be the squad. So for the manager, I don't think it matters. I actually think everybody's already on 10 chem. Oh, everybody except Paul Scholes. So an English manager. There you go. That's everybody on 10 chem. It's a 190 in total. And let's get into the gameplay and see how well we can get on with this Scuf controller. I will be right back. All right, guys, as we go into the gameplay, the first opponent we come up against has got a 4-3-3 team, a really nice team, the FFS Cliver that you never really see. The headliner, not the headliner, the one to watch Ronaldo, Primer Best, Team of the Year Varane, the informed Rajan Angolan and informed Skriniar with Primer Lehman in goal as well. But this game didn't really take too long to just get done. We get the first goal very early on, 3 minutes on the clock here. The ball comes out to Fabinho, back into Kante. Kante and Fabinho doing some good work between them in the midfield. Eventually, we get that forward pass through to Costa. He gets some space, the Elastico or El Tornado or whatever it's called. And there is Socrates at the far post to slam that one home for 1-0. And although my opponent didn't rage quit straight away, he did rage quit like a little bit after. 20 minutes on the clock or 18 minutes, 22 on the clock. And he decided that enough was enough. So a very, very comfortable first round win. Easy to get through, obviously. Very nice indeed. And it moves us on into the second round. And into the second round, we come up against a really good 4-3-3 squad. 2 Team of the Years in there. 2 Prime Moment icons. 1 FFS Bentancur. That's a very good card. The Informed Neymar, who's also very good. However, PK and Odriozola as his 2 centre-backs were a little bit suspect and definitely something that I hope that I could improve, beat, basically. And here is Heung-min Son, my super sub of dreams, getting on the ball. Gets the shot away, a lovely timed shot into the back of the net, putting us 1-0 up. We did eventually go 2-0 up as well. Vinicius Jr. also on as a sub with the El Tornado, and the header there is at the back post from Socrates to score to make it 2-0, and that is how this game ended. And this was one of those games where my opponent just stayed on 1 depth, drop back the entire game. You can see there 42% possession, 1 shot, 77% pass accuracy, and I'm just like, why? Why bother? Like, rather lose 4-0 and try than lose 2-0 and not bother. Into the semi-final we go. We come up against another monster squad. 4 Primer Icons, 2 Team of the Years, FFS Trent, the 93 Sergio Aguero, Informed Fabinho, and just all round a beast squad. And I can't tell you how hard this guy kept trying to force the ball to Hullet. And I thought, no problems, because if I just, just handle and mark Hullet, it's no dramas. But it was dramas because Hullet is just so good in this game that he makes the difference regardless of whether you mark him or not. But our super sub, again, coming on. Heung-min Son hitting that hard into the near post and scoring to make it 1-1. I did end up conceding another goal, though. And look at this again. He's just feeding Hullet, man. Just pumping him down there. And this is my own fault. You see my defense tracking back. The reason why they're tracking back is because I'm not on 1 depth and drop back. I said to you guys before, in draft, I only ever sort tactics out if I feel like I'm against an opponent that I need to. I get the defensive header, the knockdown falls to Gareth Bale, and just a random finesse shot from the top of the box to score to make it 2-1. We eventually got back into the game, though, pretty quickly. Heung Son threads it through to Kylian Mbappe. Mbappe gets in behind, hits the stop and turn, shoots, and it falls to Socrates, I believe. And Socrates scores to make it 2-2. And again, gets his third goal. He's scored in every round so far. We eventually got in the lead. Mbappe here to Son. Son back to Mbappe. Mbappe gets fouled. The ref doesn't give it. It falls to Vinicius Jr., who on that 4-star weak foot shoots and scores. And now I'm shushing. And you want to know why? Because people in the comment section are like, oh man, you're so toxic with your celebrations. Generally, you'll see me skip replays and skip goals unless it's like a really nice goal that I want to see again. But people have this new way of being passively toxic, right? And you know, you guys have experienced it, right? But what people do now is they watch all cutscenes and all celebrations and all replays. And for example, when it's a goal kick, they'll just stand dead still until the game like basically gets to the point where they have to take the goal kick. They'll wait for kickoff for the full like 25, 30 in real life seconds. And that's what this guy was doing. He was being passively aggressive. So once I took the lead and then eventually at 4-3, I was delighted and I wanted to give him a little bit of a little piece of my mind. Into the final, we'll come up against another monster squad. Really, really good team this. Other than Valencia off chem at right back as a right mid as well. So I think he's on like 3 chemistry, maybe 4 chemistry there. This is just a really, really, really good team. And things didn't start too well for us on this one either. You know, obviously the heading meta is real now. And this guy gets down the line with Pele there. The fake shot stop, he pushes it inside. I thought I did enough to see him out. Sadly, my defenders don't even jump. His Suarez didn't even need to jump there to score. But our super sub is back on point again. Heung Son gets in behind, shoots and scores again at that near post to get his 3rd goal in 3 games and put us 1-1. We then concede another header and just a dumb goal this one. I've got Socrates marking Van Dijk. Van Dijk heads it off the crossbar and none of my defenders react. And he makes it 2-1. But it wasn't a problem. Heung Son here loses the ball. The ball falls back to Son. He gets into position, shoots with that timed finish to the top right-hand corner. A beautiful goal to put it 2-2. And here's where the game changed for the better for me. We get the El Tornado comes in. We miss the header, but get taken out there. He slides in for Heung Son, takes Son out with Alderweireld. Alderweireld gets sent off. We get ourselves a penalty. And we dispatch that penalty to make it 3-2. And at this point, I'm thinking, this is just game on. This is it. This is game done. But for some reason, and you guys have probably experienced it yourselves, I felt like I had 10 men. This guy started picking me apart. And do you know what I did do here? I was like, okay, let me just play this safe. I went 1 depth. I went drop back. I put all my players on stay back while attacking. And this is the kind of thing that I was dealing with. Look at this. I've got Kante. I try and pass it back. And he just passes it out of play. And this and off of that play there, off of that throw-in, the next attack is him scoring another goal because my defenders still aren't on drop back. So even though he had the 10 men, I was finding it difficult to play the game at all. Like something happened and I couldn't play, I couldn't function. I end up conceding 2 more goals there with 7 minutes left on the clock. And you wouldn't believe how easier it was to play against 10 men to the point where I wish he never got a man sent off and I only got the penalty because I think then that I would have won the game. I think I would have won the game if he only got the penalty. We end up losing the game. His De Gea made 8 saves to my De Gea's 1 save and it just wasn't my game, guys. So 2 unlucky in the final to lose 5-4. That is going to be the end of the gameplay. Let's get into the packs. All right, guys. So we end up losing in the final. I can't believe I lost the game, genuinely, right? It was 2-2. He got a red card and a penalty and I got a penalty very early on in the game, literally like 25 minutes on the clock. I go 3-2 up, and I'm not even kidding. I felt like I had 10 men. He had a spare man on me all the time. He didn't even sub out. He didn't even change his defender to, like, he didn't even, like, you know, go back to 4 at the back because he was essentially playing 3-2-1-2 with no centre back, right? Just one defender missing until about the 80th minute of the game. And I just couldn't, there was no space. Like every time I put the ball up front, he just had defenders all over me. And I was thinking to myself, no problems. This guy's obviously on high pressure or something like that towards the back end of the game. He's just going to get drained and have no chance. But no, like his team was everywhere. My team was nowhere. And then he scores a late goal to make it 3-3. And I'm like, still, I'm not really fussed. And then he scores to make it 4-3 and then 5-3. And in the meantime, I genuinely felt like I had 10 men. I've never experienced anything like it before, other than when I've had a man sent off against me, and that's how it feels. And like, this team was great. It played really good FIFA. I didn't like the attacking setup generally. Like, you need big men in this game. You absolutely need them. Gareth Bale's, Cristiano Ronaldo's, Socrates, R9's, Ibra's, whoever it is, you need big men. Zapata wasn't the big man that I needed. He just wasn't getting involved in any way. So we bought Son on at striker every game, and he was brilliant every game. We also took off Scholes, and then at times took off Costa as well. And this was mostly my attack. And Heung-min Son was just magnificent. He saved me like a lot of the games. He scored goals. But I genuinely, I'm sitting here like, I'm not mad that I lost, because the guy played good FIFA. He scored some nice goals. He abused the game mechanics. I think he scored 3 headers. He knew how the game worked. I'm not mad at that. I'm a bit frustrated that I had a man advantage and I was a goal up, and I still felt like I was the person who was struggling. I never had passing options. I didn't have runners. When I did get the ball to a man, he was closed down immediately. And I don't have an explanation as to how that happens when you have a man more. When he got the man sent off and then I scored the penalty for 3-2, I was like, oh, he hasn't even changed his centre-back. This is just going to be an easy win. I already scored goals. I was already creating chances. At 2-2, it wasn't a problem. After he got the man sent off, excluding the penalty, the only goal I scored after that was a kickoff goal in the 90th minute. So for about 50 to 60 in-game minutes against 3 defenders with no centre-back, I couldn't score. And that's crazy. It's just crazy. I don't understand. I don't know what to say. You see this. This, guys, is why this game is a joke for rewards as well, right? This reward here, Jumbo Premium Gold Pack and a Premium Gold Players Pack, this is a reward that you can also get for losing in the semi-final. This is the one that I never get. I always get the 7.5k pack and the 15k pack. But this reward you can get for losing in the semi-final. How can you get the same reward for losing at 2 different stages in FIFA? How can you get this reward for losing in the semi or losing in the final? I hate the reward structure of this game. And if you can't tell, I'm just triggered because I shouldn't have lost that game. I like this game just does my head in, man. It does my head in. It does my head in. It's just so unrewarding for people that play the game. Not me, not my opponent, everyone. Everyone that plays this game, it's just so unrewarding on so many occasions. We get a counter centre forward card, which is pretty decent. We get a Lucas Torreira there. We'll make profit off of this just because of the volume of players that we get. Right? So in terms of what Draft Glory is about, we're going to make profit. In terms of this draft, though, first 2 games, easy as you like, 2 easy rage quits. Semi-final, a game I felt like I deserved to win. Dominated. The guy, I don't even think he had a shot. Like, I can't remember what the score was, 4-3 or something like that. But he just wasn't in the game. You know, he barely got into my half. He barely did anything. And then here we go with our Premium Gold Players Pack. Now we get a board. As long as it's an 84 or an 85, I'll be happy. Oh, God. Oh, okay, that's okay. So it is an 84 Kepa. So that's not too bad at all. But yeah, that's just it was just a frustrating draft to play in, guys, if I'm being honest. Well, the final, obviously if you're up against a world-class FIFA player against 10 men, you're going to struggle. That guy, he was good. He wasn't that good to the point where I'm like, okay, with 10 men I'm going to struggle, because I'd already made it. It was already 2-2 and I was already like creating lots of opportunities. And then he didn't pause the game. He didn't change tactics or anything. He just carried on playing for a full 80 minutes with 1 centre-back missing until he scored at 3-3. Then he changed to 4 at the back. And yet he was still had so many good attacking options in spite of the fact he had now 1 less attacker. So when he had 1 less defender, he was still impeccable at defending. And then when he had 1 less attacker, he then started scoring goals. And that's when I scored a goal too, when he put another defender back into his team. And all it makes me think is that the game doesn't know how to function when there's a player missing from a spot that there should be a player there for the other team. So when he has a player that's disappeared, my players don't all of a sudden think, oh, there's some space there, let me go and fill it. They still play as if there was a defender there. And so the same with the attack. Even though he had 1 striker missing, my defenders now still play as if there was an attacker in that spot because it's against the 4-1-2-1-2. Anyway, Complaining's not going to change it. Credit to my opponent. You know, he stayed in the game with 10 men. He ended up winning it. Congrats to him. I hope he got some really good rewards and packed something nice in his rewards, because God forbid he didn't have fun in that game. I can assure you that. This is going to be the end of the video. If you did enjoy it, be sure to leave a like, rate, and comment, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. But for now, guys, I'm out. Peace.